Some of you guys need to just fucking come out of the closet already. Jesus Christ.
Moving on.
Fox News features more guests with opposing viewpoints than any other network. That proves that they're the most fair and the most balanced, says the Fox News talking point douche clone, while waving his Hannity First flag around with one hand and picking a pubic hair out of his freshly teabagged cup of Earl Grey with the other. Look, if you're one of these rabid Fox News douchebots that still hasn't caught on to their strategy of having only the most weak-kneed, spineless, servile half-wits on to counter their narratives, then you might want to put down the Kool-Aid for just 1 second and ask yourself this question. When is the last time you saw them feature an extremely talented and well-informed guest in opposition of their usual talking points? Because the only one that comes to my mind in recent memory is Jon Stewart. We all saw how that little exchange worked out for Mr. O'Reilly. Here's an example of the average Democrat they feature as a guest with an opposing point of view.
I certainly support a law.
When I ask you a specific, you don't really have an answer. If we are going to stop illegal immigration, give Arizona a better solution.
Well, I think John McCain's bill was one solution, and building much tougher borders, right? I mean, I'm not saying that's necessarily the right answer. And if it is some form of tougher guidelines on the borders, well, then that's what we need to do.
But he's invited to the school without parents' permission.
Yeah. Agreed. The principal probably should have asked.
I think it would be a good thing if I spoke to your kid's school.
Come on out.
That is why I've decided to step up to the plate and book myself as the advisor to the guest brought in to counter Hannity's narrative. And even though I'm not a Democrat, I'm still an independent that disagrees with practically everything that comes out of Sean Hannity's worthless tool for a face. So I'm more than willing to take the job. Roll the clip. Let's see what happens.
The Arizona governor signing today this law that seeks to crack down on illegal immigration.
I think it is racial profiling. I don't think there's really anything wrong as far as racial profiling, stopping people who are coming in illegally. I mean, you're not looking for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Swede most of the time.
When I ask you a specific, you don't really have an answer. If we are going to stop illegal immigration, give Arizona a better solution.
Okay. In response to the stupid-ass laughing boy Tool dressed up like Sesame Street over here, and his assertion that blonde-haired, blue-eyed Swedes couldn't be part of the problem, I'd love to just slap him upside his poorly shaped head, but in the interest of civil discourse, I'll offer him a quick lesson on the reason people come here illegally instead. They come here to work, man. And American employers can hire them illegally and pay them a fraction of what they would have to pay legitimate American workers. The root of the problem is clearly the businesses, many of which who happen to be owned by blonde-haired, blue-eyed Swedes, who get away with hiring illegal immigrants. But you don't want to bring that up because that requires passing legislation which invariably hurts American businesses that rely on cheap illegal labor to run their operations.
We are so concerned about political correctness that we are absolutely forgetting who we are and what we stand for.
All right, let's go to Obama's old Senate seat.
On Greta, you had Blanche Lincoln. Greta had asked Blanche, what do you think about the president coming to campaign for you in Arkansas?
No thanks.
And Blanche kind of hedged a little bit, so she doesn't want him.
Well, you know, I think Obama and his bunch will only reach out to help a friend if it makes political sense for Obama.
You're totally right about that one, douche. I can't believe Obama only helps people out when it makes sense.
It's very convenient.
Well, I mean, there's lots.
All right, let's go to Dick Cheney.
By the way, I also want to thank you, and on the list of things I feel I should thank you for almost kicking Patrick Leahy's. Thank you very much. I mean, I love that movie. One of my favorite stories. Muttering that.
How many people liked that? That's sort of the best thing I ever did.
Reactions, Crowder?
You know, it's funny. Joe Biden obviously has been caught doing this a lot. The other day on The View, he started going in. He said, you know, what the HE double hockey sticks. I'll spare your viewers the language here. But he can't help himself. It's like, oh, it slipped because it's just a part of his vernacular. Whereas when Dick Cheney does it, it's usually pretty deliberate and downright scary. I would not want him to lean in and whisper those sweet nothings into my ear, Sean.
Oh, really? So which sweet nothings would you rather he lean in, whisper into your ear? This is supposed to be a conversation about cussing in politics, and somehow or another you turned it into this sick fantasy about you and Dick Cheney whispering softly into one another's ears? Some of you guys need to just fucking come out of the closet already. Jesus Christ.
Moving on, we got convicted felon rapper T.I. gets out of jail, and he speaks at a school without parents' knowledge. And when a parent confronted the principal, he responded, well, I thought about asking a guy who snorted cocaine and got arrested for DUI when he was 30 to come to speak to our kids, but George Bush was not available.
Now that is fucking hilarious. A principal with some balls. What do you think there, douche belly? I'm sure you probably got a worthless, out-of-touch opinion on this shit. Let's hear it.
I think, you know, that this is a principal clearly with a leftist agenda as displayed by his Bush derangement syndrome.
Well, yeah, there's certainly some Bush derangement syndrome going on this channel, but Go ahead and finish your thoughts there, Pretend Elvis.
And it's just inappropriate to have T.I. speak to kids. I mean, have you ever heard some of what T.I. says? Never been effed in the game, I'm celibate.
What the? Is that really the worst T.I. lyrics you could possibly come up with? Because you failed. But anyway, T.I. ain't even about that shit anymore. Here's some lyrics that are probably a little bit closer to what he's actually telling these kids. This is T.I. Now I get it. Now I take time to think before I make mistakes just for my family's sake. That's some family shit, man. Why you motherfuckers gotta hate on T.I.? Is it because y'all are jealous that T.I. can rap his ass off, blast off, and have outstanding qualities?
You guys. He was trying to show the consequences of what could happen when, bullying is a big deal in schools right now, and people are committing suicide and getting beat up for it. So I think he was just trying to do a good deed.
All right, guys, good to see you.
Absolutely.